Welcome to the Introduction to iPhone Features, Part 1 of 7 parts, presented by the Fruitland Park Library, narrated by Gloria. Video includes iPhone features, iPhone accessories, SIM card and Apple ID, power on or off, quick start, password, change password, Wi-Fi password, Apple ID, apps, and data. In order to work along with the tutorial, it may be necessary for you to have two open windows side by side. It does not matter if one window is a website and the other is an application or program. The steps of maximizing or restoring down a window is the same for both. We will be using the website YouTube and Notepad as examples. The opening slides will suggest different methods. Please see slides 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 before continuing with the tutorial. In the upper right corner, there is a Maximize Restore Down button. Restore Down reduces the window to half its size, as you see below. Maximize or Restore Down button becomes a single square. When the window is maximized, it fills the entire screen and the button is a double square. You can adjust the width and height by hovering the cursor on the right, left, top, or bottom edge of the window. The cursor will change from the normal arrow to an arrow with points at each end. You can then resize the window. Arrows are shown in red and blue for better visibility. Arrows will be white on the screen. You can move the window to a new location on the screen by placing the cursor near the top, blue arrow, and holding down the left mouse button. Then drag it to the new location and release the mouse button. If you do not have Microsoft Word on your computer and you are using Windows operating system, you can use Notepad to open two windows side by side. Click on the Windows icon in the lower left corner. Scroll down to Windows Accessories and click. A drop-down menu will open. Click on Notepad. Notepad size can be adjusted just like Word using the same steps. You can also save, open, print, copy, paste, and more using Notepad. After adjusting the first window, open a second window and repeat the steps. As you can see, the second window overlapped the first. Place your cursor near the top of the second window. Cursor should be a white arrow. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the second window off of the first window. The two windows will be side by side, allowing you to follow the instructions in the video. However, using this method will require you at times to use the right side and bottom scrolling sliders. A second method is to use the Minimize button, which will drop a window down to the taskbar. Click on it to open it up. Using this method does require you to switch back and forth between the two windows. Just pause the video, minimize the window, and open up the other window. The last suggestion is to take your laptop or smartphone to a library and use one of the library computers. Open the tutorial on the computer or smartphone and use the other to follow along with the tutorial. Features of an Apple SE second generation: flash, rear camera, rear microphone, silent ringer, volume buttons, lightning connector, front camera, receiver or front microphone, sleep or wake button, power button, SIM card tray, home button, and touch ID sensor. Accessories: Apple headset, listen to music, videos, etc. Connecting cable, connect to a PC or the USB power adapter for charging. Apple USB power adapter, plug adapter into an outlet for charging. SIM eject tool, used to open SIM tray. Finger movements are all you need to use an iPhone or any of its apps. Tap, drag, swipe, pinch. SIM card, subscriber identify module. Memory chip that tells you about the user. Apple ID. Your Apple ID is the email address and password you will use to access Apple services. It's needed to store content in the iCloud, downloading apps from the App Store, streaming Apple Music, buying iTunes Music, movies, TV shows, and purchasing books iBookstore. If you already have an Apple ID, use it when you set up the iPhone and for signing in for Apple service. If you don't have an Apple ID, create one. You only need one Apple ID for everything you do with Apple. Turn on Power button. iPhone opens to Apple logo. Your logo may be white. To turn off, press the sleep wake power button, and when this screen appears, swipe to the right. First thing to do is charge the phone before you attempt to set it up. Once charged, turn the phone on using the sleep wake button, power button. This quick start screen gives options on setting up the phone. You can use your old iPhone or an iPad for the setup or set up manually. During setup, just follow the prompts. These are a few samples of what you will be asked. Select a language, select a country. Create a passcode. You will be asked to create a passcode. Whatever code you choose, write it down somewhere. 10 failed passcode attempts. After 10 failed attempts, all settings are reset. All information and media are deleted by removing the encryption key to the data. Erase data after 10 failed passcode attempts. Go to Settings, tap Passcode, tap Erase Data. Erase data is turned off on this phone. If this happens or you forget the passcode, you must restore the iPhone. From an iCloud backup or connect the iPhone to a computer and restore using iTunes. It's better to use the same computer you used when you first synced the phone. Change passcode later. Tap Settings, tap Touch ID and Passcode, enter password, then turn passcode on, off, or change. Wi-Fi password. If you are trying to connect to a Wi-Fi network that is password protected, you must enter the network's password in order to connect to the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi at the Fruitland Park Library is not password protected. Hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Apple ID. You will be needing an Apple ID. Signing up is free. If you already have one, that's great because you only need one ID for all of your Apple devices. Apps and data. Choose how you want to transfer apps and data to this phone. As you can see, there is a lot of decision making setting up the phone. Nothing hard, but it can get frustrating. Personally, I only set up the basic features that I need to make the phone work. I go back later and decide about the rest. So if the screen has a skip button, feel free to use it. This concludes the introduction to iPhone features. Thank you for joining us for part 1. We hope you enjoyed the tutorial and will be joining us for the remaining parts 2 through 7 of iPhone. If you have any questions or would like a transcript of this video, please contact me at gterry@mylakelibrary.org or call 352-360-6561.